On the news, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah dies at age 52. Landmine kills 7 troops in Kano State. And NNPC confirms fuel scarcity in Lagos and Abuja. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkolie. We start on a sad note as Ifeanyi Ubah, Senator representing Anambra South District in the National Assembly, is dead. Senator Ubah was said to have departed Nigeria for the UK 2 days ago, and a close family source said he died in a UK hospital where he went for surgery. Ubah had defected to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC from the Young Progressives Party YPP last year. He was later re-elected into the 10th Senate under the YPP. The late senator was billed to seek APC's ticket ahead of the Anambra State governorship election. And at least 7 Nigerian soldiers were killed after a mine exploded on a highway in Borno State, the hotbed of a Boko Haram militant insurgency. A security official, Issa Buka, said the explosion occurred on Thursday morning after soldiers on the patrol triggered the mine, which killed 7 of them. Nigerian forces have been locked in the fight against an insurgency in the region for more than a decade, and about 40,000 people have been killed and 2 million people displaced from their homes in the northeast Nigeria. And the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokunwa, said that credible intelligence at the disposal of the Nigerian police force revealed that foreign mercenaries are deeply involved in the planning of the anticipated August 1st nationwide protest in the country. The IGP also issued a stern warning to clandestine groups plotting to destabilize the country and hoodlums seeking to exploit protests for their criminal agendas. Egbetokunwa made this disclosure while addressing a press conference at the force headquarters in Abuja. Also said that the police would not tolerate the killing of innocent citizens, destruction of public infrastructure and private property, or looting of private businesses. He noted that to facilitate a successful and incident-free protest, the protesting groups must provide some requisite information.
We note those who have spoken out against any form of protest at this critical juncture, fearing any means of our country, may be manipulating the process. We confirm the affairs are genuine, as we have credible intelligence on foreign mercenaries' involvement in this planned protest. The Nigerian police urge all Nigerians to exercise caution and think twice before joining any protest group. While we alert citizens to the sinister motives of certain groups planning to wreak havoc, it has become clear that even a peaceful protest at this time may be ill-timed. We issue a stern warning to clandestine groups plotting to destabilize the country and hoodlums seeking to exploit protests for their criminal agendas. We will not tolerate the killing of innocent citizens, destruction of public infrastructure and private property, or looting of private businesses. We acknowledge the constitutional right of Nigerian citizens to peaceful assembly and protest. However, in the interest of public safety and order, we urge all groups planning to protest to provide necessary details to the Commissioner of Police in the state where protest is intended to take place. To facilitate a successful and incident-free protest, they should please provide the following information. 1. Proposed protest routes and assembly points. 2. Expected duration of the protest. 3. Names and contact details of protest leaders and organizers. 4. Measures to prevent hijacking by criminal elements, including key identifiers for possible isolation of potential troublemakers. By providing this information, the police will be enabled to deploy adequate personnel and resources to ensure public safety.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress APC has urged organizers of the planned August 1st nationwide protest to shelve its agitation to have President Bola Tinubu scrap the 1999 Constitution, describing it as a tall order. The ruling party disclosed this after a closed-door meeting with the Forum of APC state chairmen to discuss the modalities of the proposed protest at the National Secretariat in Abuja on Friday. According to Senator Bashiru, President Tinubu alone lacks the power to dump or alter the 1999 Constitution in any form. Bashiru added that on an intellectual basis, the meeting of the National Working Committee of the party examined the 15 charter of demands outlined by the organizers of the protest and discovered that most of the issues raised there are not matters for protest because they border on the issue of politics and amendments to the Constitution. Imo State Governor and Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Uzodinma, has said the planned protest is coming at a wrong time. Uzodinma cited the NSAS movement of 2020, emphasizing the fragile political environment and warning about the potential for hijack by criminals. Speaking with State House correspondents after meeting with President Bola Tinubu, the governor urged citizens to protect the nation's stability and avoid actions that could worsen economic hardships.
Well, democracy is about opinion of the people, and the protest is allowed in a democratic setting. But every protest must be reasonably conceived to be able to make political sense. I think it's too early at this time in the life of this government for anybody to come out to say he wants to protest. First of all, there have not been any engagement where those who are sponsoring the protest was able to tell us the reasons for the protest. Secondly, given the global situation today and the insecurity in the country, we have a very fragile political environment that, if not managed and protected very well, may collapse the entire country. So those who are going to protest, what is the reason for the protest? And if they have no reason for the protest, I think our advice, we're meaning Nigerians, citizens of this country who are making sacrifices. Some of us have paid the supreme price for the existence of this country. We should guide our country very jealously. I think it is the wrong time for anybody to do any protest, because the implication of doing that, if care is not taken, is that it may be hijacked, like the NSAS experience, where criminals now hijacked and innocently conceived agitation by young Nigerians. So this is another kind of temptation that I think too, that those behind the protest, because they have not been able to come out openly to say they are behind it, there is something that is a motive that is yet to be unraveled.
Still on the planned protest, as police authorities have requested the details of demonstrators, security agencies have also warned against planned demonstrations, asking Nigerians to shelve actions culpable of undermining national security. On Thursday, President Bola Tinubu also went in on the protest, saying that sponsors of the demonstration do not love the country. Now, speaking on TV360's Nigeria flagship program, experts urged the president to encourage the youth to carry out their protests without any hindrance, adding that adequate security should be provided across all 35 states in the country, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
My sympathy goes to the president, who is the father of protests in Nigeria, who has led protests all his life. He has led protests all his life. Is known to be the staunch advocate of democratic freedom. And one of the important ingredients of democratic freedom is the right of dissent, to protest, to show your protest. He did that to the military, and he did that to even President Olusegun Obasanjo when he created additional local governments in Lagos State, and the president refused to recognize those local governments and then went ahead to withhold the allocation to all the local governments in Lagos State. So he's a fearless person, he's a courageous person, but he's in an environment that security has taken precedent over
Even when we want to have a protest, we write to the police authorities to provide us security. And the police authorities at times even invite us to come and explain, to give them the itinerary of the protest. But in this case, anybody say they are going underground for fear of arrest, then we should be suspicious that these so-called protest organizers have other motive apart from protesting against their slogan of end bad governance, because I don't understand what end bad governance means. You recollect that in the 2020 NSAS, we saw the burning, looting, killing, maiming, cannibalism of security agencies, attacking police stations and armories, cutting away arms and ammunition. So we don't want a repeat of that. If you want to hold your protest, in fact, in one of my engagements earlier today, I even called on the Lagos State government to provide the protesters Ganifa Emik Park or the MK Abiola Park in Ojota, so that if they want to hold their protest there for the next 10 years, so be it.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, has acknowledged ongoing fuel supply and distribution issues affecting part of Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The company has assured the public that efforts are underway to restore normalcy. In a statement released on Saturday, NNPCL's Chief Corporate Communication Officer Olu Falae attributed the supply tightness to operational issues in the discharge of fuel vessels. The statement comes amid reports of long queues and soaring prices, with fuel costs reaching nearly 1,000 naira per litre in some areas of Lagos State and Abuja. Now, NNPCL says it is actively collaborating with stakeholders to address the challenges and ensure a stable fuel supply to affected regions. And in Lagos State, the state government has announced the Echo Flavours project, a cooking competition set to take place in August 2024. The event aims to celebrate the diverse food culture of Lagos while promoting culinary skills among upcoming chefs, culinary students, and local food vendors. Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems Abisola Olusonya made this announcement on Friday during a press conference at the Fresh Food Hub in Idioro Mushin. Olusonya added that the Echo Flavours project would showcase the cooking talents of various chefs residing in Lagos, highlighting a variety of cultural dishes for the enjoyment of residents.
We have 2 rounds of participation. We'll have our judges, we'll have the commissioner, we'll have the ministry, and then these sets of people are being judged by speed, the taste of the food, because the truth about it is that content can only get you thus far. We need to be certain that you have everything that it takes to be the next Echo Flavours champion. So you come in here, we test you based off of speed, based off of taste and presentation. It's very important that all of that determines who wins this contest.
The aim of this project is to put them in the limelight as being an integral part of how you and I are able to feed and have food in our kitchens. Also, we have a lot of young people wanting to get into the culinary world, and we felt that this would be an important platform for them to be able to showcase their talent as well as get the benefits of partaking in a competition like this. And knowing Lagos to be a melting pot of diversity when it comes to food, and that is why we have we're trying to bring this together And the Lagos Fresh Food Hub is an initiative of Lagos State, as we all know. And we are trying to bring people that love food to come and compete. It's going to be an event that would, that will showcase Lagos. It will bring Lagos in a limelight.
The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, has urged residents of the state to desist from dumping refuse in drainage channels. He said that the Lagos state government is working to ensure that drainage systems will be cleared and well drained in order to prevent flooding. He also added that the issue of global warming is taking center stage, adding that many people don't know the danger involved.
What is going on in the world is very strange. Global warming is very real. People who don't believe in that, they are seeing what is going on now. Dubai is in the heart of the desert. Recently, it was flooded. So many other countries, Florida in America, flooded everywhere. And, people died in their hundreds. In Lagos, by the grace of God, we didn't lose anybody. So if it's raining for hours, it is only logical. No matter how good the drainage system is, it will be overwhelmed. We are talking about nature. We are talking about rains pounding a particular place for hours. There is no how it will happen. But we will continue to ensure that the drains are freed, ensure that our people imbibe the habits of not dumping refuse in drains, of knowing that the environment is the only thing, legacy, that is given to us by nature, and that we are going to pass on to the generations coming, and that we should take care of it as much as we can.
We'll go on a short break, but coming up next, Aruna and Omotayo begins medal quest in France Olympics. Details of the story after this break. Welcome back. Now here's a recap of our top stories. Senator Ifeanyi Omba, representing Anambra South District in the National Assembly, has passed away. He died in a UK hospital where he had traveled for surgery. Omba recently defected from the Young Progressives Party YPP to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC and was re-elected to the 10th Senate under the YPP. He was also planning to seek the APC's ticket for the upcoming Anambra State governorship election. We also told you that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has acknowledged ongoing fuel supply and distribution issues affecting parts of Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), while also assuring the public that efforts are underway to restore normalcy. In a statement released on Saturday, NNPCL's Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olu Falae attributed the supply tightness to operational issues in the discharge of a few vessels. This comes amidst report of long queues and soaring prices, with fuel costs reaching nearly 1,000 naira per litre in some areas of Lagos and Abuja. Now, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Limes World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. And on business, the National Civil Society Council of Nigeria has condemned the allegations made by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) against the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) to explain the whereabouts of the alleged missing $2.04 billion and 164 billion naira oil revenues. SERAP, in a statement signed by the Deputy Director of SERAP, Kolawole Oluwadare, disclosed that a recent publication on 2020 audited report by the Auditor General of the Federation that the NNPC failed to remit the alleged money into the Federation account, claiming that the money may have been diverted to unknown destinations.
The tedious and non-manipulated mission revealed that as at 2020, NNPC Limited was not yet in existence. As at that time in question, NNPC was the establishment in existence and NNPC was in charge of the business house. NNPC Limited was just incorporated in September 2021 and formally unveiled on July 19, 2022. The management of NNPC Limited presented to us the original audited account of NNPC, which was found free of any verifiable fraud. NNPC is now scrapped and prior to transition from NNPC to NNPC Limited, proper stock taking and audits was conducted and made public. Hence, the alleged missing fund is unfounded and unsubstantial even in the said AGL report.
This allegation centered around investment. During the existence of NNPC Corporation, there is another agency that was solely saddled with the responsibility of investment and they are called NNPC, National Investment Petroleum NNPC. So, if actually this fraud exists and it is situated around investment, the right person to answer the question will be NNPC, not even NNPC. Now, by getting from NNPC to NNPC, you now see how Buhari is exonerated. And if we must still trace it, of course, I was part of the international. And I made it clear that we will be happy to continue to trace it if the never exists.
And on the foreign scene, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohamed, met with President Bola Tinubu to debrief him of the effort to restore constitutional rule in some West African countries that have recently fallen under military juntas. Speaking with State House correspondents after meeting at the Presidential Villa Abuja, she said apart from debriefing the President on the proposals, President Tinubu had earlier made to keep dialogue going forward as the chairman of the authority of ECOWAS and they appraised emerging challenges. She revealed that they dwelt on the possibility of including economic development for the countries so that the people of the countries do not suffer.
We were able to debrief on the proposals that he had made to try to keep the dialogue going for some of the states that we have challenges with. But at the same time, we also looked for the possibilities to include more economic development so that the people don't suffer at the same time. What we're telling these countries is that a number of them have a crisis, they have unconstitutional changes, and what they must do is to come back to a transition and a process to democracy. On the other hand, they have to look also at the development paradigm for their people. There is terrorism, but there's also a need to look at jobs, food security, energy. All those also have to continue. Now, if they can display a roadmap that gives everyone some confidence that there is a return to democratic rule, then they will find the support. I believe that in ECOWAS we are a family. Regional integration is at the heart of it. It is what these countries have said. And the proposal by ECOWAS in its last meeting to have President Faye of Senegal and President Faure of Togo to continue that dialogue and engagement is a good one. The response from them is that clearly they feel that they have not had the same support of ECOWAS that they envisaged, and a lack of understanding that in some cases they, of course, are going to go ahead with their alliance. But at the same time, they expressed their priorities. Their first was security and their fight against terrorism. Their second was investments that they were looking for in certain areas like food security and job creation for young people.
And finally, on sport, Haruna Kodri and Olajide Omotayo will begin their quest for medals and the table tennis event of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Haruna will be up against Romania's Eduard Unosu in the first round match of the men's singles event, while Omotayo will battle with Iran's Nosad Almanian in another first round pairing. And that wraps up our bulletin on News Now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamlore Akinkwole. See you again next time.